Every year, hundreds of tons of soil are washed from construction sites into rivers and lakes, and the consequences can be serious and the remedies costly. However, increasing attention is being given to methods of preventing soil erosion. And joining us to discuss the issue is Donald Last, a professor of research management at UW-Stevens Point's College of Natural Resources. Thanks for coming in this afternoon.
My pleasure.
What is the primary source of soil erosion?
There are a variety of sources in Wisconsin, including agricultural activity and construction sites. When we build our roads, our highways, our businesses, soil is exposed and erosion is a result.
How does it occur?
It occurs with the impact of the raindrop. It's just like tiny little bombs hitting the surface, and that allows the soil to be moved across the surface as the rainwater washes and carries it on into wherever.
Into lakes, streams?
Lakes, streams, storm sewers, roadside ditches, where it shouldn't be.
Yeah, what are the repercussions of that?
Well, a variety of repercussions. There's some environmental repercussions and some economic ones. The environmental ones relate to the fish and wildlife that enjoy the streams and lakes of Wisconsin, which are important to our economy. And that's the second impact, is that our economy in northern Wisconsin and central Wisconsin is so dependent on waterways and clean water. It's what we promote out in the other surrounding states, and it's therefore something that we want to make sure are clean and clear and available for resource use.
Are we in danger of it not being clear at this point, or?
Well, there has been a concerted effort over many years to keep our waters clean and to continue to clean them up. We've had the paper mills and the city sewage treatment plants and so forth have had their wastes cleaned up, but we haven't addressed some of the non-point source problems from farming activity and construction erosion.
How bad is the problem? Is it to be worried about at this point, or you want to prevent it before it gets that bad?
I think there's some advantage in preventing the problem before it occurs, because once it's in the waterways, the remedial action is much more expensive for us to deal with than it would be to prevent in the first place, which is true of many things. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
And what is required to fix this damage?
There are a variety of practices that can be used, fairly simple technologies that can be applied to construction sites to minimize erosion, including the placement of straw bales and filter fabric fences of one kind or another, diverting water as the case may be. So techniques are out there that are available.
Are these expensive techniques, or?
Not in particular. Compared to the amount of money that's spent for construction activity, these are comparatively minor practices. On a, let's say, a $50,000 or $60,000 house, we'd be talking about less than $1,000 for the erosion control practices.
What are the best ways? You mentioned a couple of them there. Are they the best ways to prevent erosion?
I think there's some simple common sense rules that can be applied. First of all, you want to minimize the amount of time that the site is open to the forces of erosion. So don't grade the entire site for an entire period of a year, for example, but just grade that part that's going to be needed for the construction that's underway. You want to also divert clean water around the site if possible, rather than allowing water to come in and through it and wash through it and carry with it the soil from the site. Variety of practices such as that.
Now, there's an effort underway to pass some legislation that would regulate soil erosion?
That's true. There is legislation on the governor's desk right now which has passed both the Assembly and State Senate, which would mandate construction site erosion control rules for villages and cities and counties throughout the state of Wisconsin.
Do you think it's needed?
I think it's needed because communities really at this point have not addressed the problem as they perhaps could have, as well as they could have, and this will maybe make it a little more urgent, more higher priority activity for them.